You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
And welcome back. Here's a look at some of the political headlines of the past week. The Lubbock Police Substation project is on schedule and is making progress. The first substation, MLK and 19th, called the Eastern Patrol Division Station, will be ready to go this summer. The South Station, 140th in Indiana, and the Northwest Station at Frankfort and Erskine will be ready by the end of the year. They'll allow officers to focus on a community policing plan.
Each patrol division station will have a community room, and we're going to highly encourage people to come use that for your civic organizations or for any reason you want. We want people to come and use those rooms and be a part of our division stations, and it'll be open to anybody who wants to do that. And that'll just help us interact with the community and get to know the people that we work around, and the people we work around will get to know us.
Total cost of the three substations will be around $21 million. And Governor Greg Abbott told West Texas oil and gas industry insiders this week he'll fight the federal government on their behalf. The Biden administration's recent orders added restrictions to oil and gas production. Environmentalists say it's long overdue, but Mr. Abbott has signed his own executive order directing every state agency to use all its lawful powers and tools to challenge any federal action that threatens oil and gas business in Texas.
Is going to protect the oil and gas industry from any type of hostile attack launched from Washington, D.C. President Biden's embrace of the Green New Deal is a job killer in Texas. It also takes a wrecking ball to the energy independence.
Mr. Abbott says he's also working on state legislation that would prevent any local government from dictating really how oil and gas is used here in Texas. Now, the election that just wouldn't end. It still isn't over for you folks in Crosby, Dickens, Floyd, and Garza counties, among others. The governor will now have to set a day for a runoff election for that vacant State House District 68 job. Our Zach Verde spoke with the two candidates still campaigning.
The crowded field of 5 now narrowed down to 2. Jacksboro lawyer David Spiller and Nocona businessman Craig Carter, the two with the most votes in a special election to fill the vacant House District 68 seat.
Work kind of started after church on Sunday, and so we kind of kicked off again, and we're trying to plan ahead and see what we need to do.
Spiller finished with 43.8% of the vote, while Carter edged out John Barry for second by less than 60 votes with 18%. So it's back to the campaign trail for about another month. The exact date yet to be announced by Governor Greg Abbott.
The good news is, like I say, is I get to visit with more people and let people come to know me more and know that they can trust me and know that I'm going to fight for them and those conservative principles, values throughout this district.
For the Nocona boot factory owner, he says a runoff is exactly what they wanted.
We're very confident that, Spiller kind of got a head start, and that's who we wanted to be in a runoff with. And I'm a different guy than Spiller.
Carter adds, given his business resume, aiding improvements to the internet in Nocona, and the Hope 2911 food ministry, he can be a different voice that District 68 needs.
The reality is I'm really an efficiency expert. I just wanted to get into a runoff, and it was a crowded race with 5 people in it. And, Spiller spent 3 times what we spent.
So Carter's throwing the numbers out the window, ready for a brand new ball game in the runoff.
We're going to win this race. So I'm excited about seeing people pulling together and going, we do not want a lawyer, another politician in Austin. We want a businessman that's going to go down there, stand against corruption, and find solutions.
While Spiller thanks the over 4,000 people who already voted for him and hopes to build off it entering the final race.
I know people have voter fatigue. We've got election fatigue. We've got, we're tired of elections and tired of going to vote. And we said, we got one more vote. Well, now we really, truly have one more. This will be the last of it. But if everybody can come out and turn out again.
All right, that's Zach Verde reporting for us. And speaking of newcomers in office, let's talk to someone who's finally on the job and off and running, new Lubbock County Commissioner Terrence Kovar. It's good to see you, my friend. How's things going?
It's going great, Brian. I appreciate it.
Few meetings under the belt. How does it feel to get started and get into the flow of things a little bit?
Well, it's exciting, and there's a lot to do. Been meeting a lot of people. Everybody needs bigger name tags around here, so I can remember who I spoke with last.
I guess with any new job, especially something like this, there always is a bit of a learning curve to get going. Take me through some of the training that was provided by the state, and how does that work?
Well, some of the training is basic. Well, I consider basic, just new hire orientation. how to hire personnel, how to fire personnel, your purchasing department. And then you do fall into some of the state rules there that you've got to be careful, especially with quorums. You know, there's 4 commissioners and the county judge, and we're all in the same area. There's 4 commissioners on one hallway. So you got to make sure and don't have 3 commissioners in one room discussing county business, which is not, we hadn't had any issues with it, but that's a real big one around here.
Wow.
Just because we're so close together.
Are there a lot of state rules like that people may not necessarily think of off the top of their head, but that you have to consider every time you even talk to another commissioner?
There is. You don't want to be discussing county business, especially when there's a quorum, which quorum for us is more than, or 3 or more.
Yeah.
So you can talk personal business, but you cannot talk county business.
What about other state rules and things like that you have to be a part of?
Well, and I'm still learning that. I've got a training next week, all week long, on more state rules that we'll be following. And then the other commissioners, also our Chief of Staff, Lindsay Diaz, they're really good. The judge, if I have any questions, I can go to them and, you know, just one-on-one and get some information. And then we have TAC, which we can utilize. I haven't utilized them just yet.
I think it's interesting. A lot of people consider this job, you know, looking at it from the outside in, as more of a part-time thing. Have you found it to be more of a day-to-day job, just like anyone would have going into work on a random Tuesday?
Pretty much. I've been showing up anywhere between 7:30 in the morning, and if I do leave here before 5, it's usually to go out in the county and look at the county road or look at something that there's an issue somewhere. And so I've been putting in my 8 to 10 hour days.
Sure. What's been the response so far from folks there in District 1?
It's been good. You know, I've had a few road complaints, which is you're going to get. And really and truly, the stuff that I've received, I've been able to get answers, or, you know, either we can get on it to repair it, or, hey, it's in the plans to be rebuilt. And as long as you give the voters out there, all the citizens, an answer, and don't give them a political answer that you give everyone, give them the proper answer of, hey, this is in the planning, or no, we're not going to do anything. But they want the truth, and I think that helps.
And, you know, along with all that, what are some of your goals here for your term, some projects you'd like to push forward? I know that they've laid out more of a road plan here, but what else is out there for you and for folks in District 1?
Well, continue the road plan.
Yeah.
Precinct 1 is becoming its own little city. I mean, it is just growing faster than anyone expected. So Lubbock Cooper's adding schools, Friendship's adding schools. And we have to keep up with that, because when they put a school in, guess what? New neighborhoods pop up. But also, we have to think about all the buildings in the county. They're very old. And they've already started with, you know, installing new roofs and air conditioners, but there are still a lot more roofs to replace and other buildings that need remodeled. And there's a long list of items that I've already sat down with the individuals in charge of, and they just need our full support as a commissioner's court to help them achieve their goals.
And in the short term, I guess you guys are going to do some interviews now, right?
We are. I kind of hit the ground running this time, didn't I? So,
You did.
Yes. We start interviews tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
That's for the County Court at Law number 3, right?
Yes, it is. We had 15 applicants, and so it's going to be a tough decision. And so we're going to get to do the interviews tomorrow, starting tomorrow and end Friday afternoon.
Trial by fire for our new guy on the
Trial by fire is correct.
Lubbock County Commissioner.
Sheriff said I'm going to be drinking water through a fire hose and then come see him when I start to catch a little air.
You bet. You better. County Commissioner Terrence Kovar, good to talk to you again, my friend. Let's talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone that gave me this opportunity.